Well, hello guys, welcome back. I'm trying to tell you a story here, and I'm going to try to shorten down the VR part so it's not a long drawn out story. Very short version of the story is when I work VR, for those of you new to the channel, I often invite the gods in. I'm like, if there's anyone that wants to teach me a lesson, come in. I've usually had great success with that. And I felt a male presence. And then I felt a female presence, so I felt a god and goddess. I definitely knew they were Norse. And I misidentified them. Go up to meditation, and I find out that it was not the two gods I thought it was. It was Farbalte and Lofe. And I've worked with them in the past and got kind of hesitant because, we have so much politics. Like, people cannot mind their own business. They gotta come over and be telling you what god or goddess you can work with. And I'm like, that's really the business between you and the god and goddess. And I've also noticed that, especially with Jotuns, the personal gnosis is so varied. You would wonder, how can you all get such varied experiences? For me at least, I saw where Loki gets a huge part of his personality. Falvalti is, like, he came off as an inventor and, connection with fire, obviously, and lightning. And, he cares about providing for his family, and he's very inventive and bright, and he's in the middle of everything. And Lafe, she's a hunter as well, because, when the men are away, somebody has to provide for the family. And she's a shapeshifter, and I got this triple goddess from her, and I got primordial god and goddess from both of them. Now, as Loki explained it to me, don't try to apply logic to the gods. Cause we say Loki is creator god, and then you're like, well, how did a creator god have parents? Well, it's true. And whether, we can't base their lives on, like, human biology, then it all just falls apart a messy pile. And they welcomed me, and they were kind of nervous because, I have been working with the Greek gods, and the Greek gods and Roman gods, they know they're beautiful, they know they're citified, they know, they can go out and be shepherds and everything else as well. They're very in touch with nature, but they have that reputation, don't they? And I see where Loki gets his attitude of, we will have things, we will definitely always have things, but not that idea of just amassing things for the sake of amassing things. You have things if they're, like, practical or you want them, but, like, it won't be an obscene show of wealth. There will never be a basilica. And, in Jotunheim. I mean, if some Jotun decided to do this, and they decided this was a good thing, I think the others would be like, great, go for it, man. But by and large, they're very connected to the earth, and they're very connected to natural forces, and they're a lot like us. They're more like us in a way than the Aesir, which I love the Aesir dearly, but and the Vanir, but Jotuns are a lot like us. In fact, a lot of them, if you, like, meet them, in my experience, will, like, address you as little cousin or something. So they're very fond of us, and he, Fabati's like, for one thing, Jotuns have always liked people. And he was, he's very kind, he's very loving, but he's clearing up that stereotype that when other people came in, that Jotuns were, like, suddenly seen as the bad guys. And he's like, no, we love people, we love working with people. And it turned out that Lofe had always worked with me in different ways, and he had always worked with me, and they're not above shape-shifting and taking the place of another god or goddess to teach you a lesson. Because they know we're taught, Jotun, run away, Loki's the only one that won't kill you on sight, run away. And there's the other stigma of, if you work with Jotuns, you must be, whatever the term is somebody made up, and you must, hate the gods or something like that. No, they're all gods, or just, they're all different families from all different tribes, probably, and from all around the world. Like, we know, like, some of the Greek gods came from Asia, and that. It's like, what's the big frickin' deal? They're all, like, just this huge family of gods, and they get along. They get along fine. Um, and I just got this love and acceptance from them. And I got the idea that, as long as you can take that they're not, what we typically think of Jotuns, as long as you can open your mind and see that they're very skilled in, witchcraft and sorcery. And they're so much like humans. I can't emphasize that enough, because it's not this idea where I've seen other people have personal gnosis, and the ones that they write about, it's all very, you get this distinctly inhuman impression. And with the Jotuns I've met, and at least the way they treated me, it's like they go out of their way to make sure you know that you're welcome and that you're a guest. I mean, yeah, Angerwoda, she can sometimes be that tough mom, but sometimes she can be like the cool aunt too, and just look at you and be like, yeah, she'll say stuff lovingly, and she means it lovingly, but, like, she'll kind of pick on you for your own good. But she's, if tough mom, tough screaming abusive military mom won't work with you, you won't get that. So it was neat seeing the family and seeing the kids, and, Fenny, and, Yorgi, and Slippy, and Hella, and, and just, getting back with everyone, because I do tend to overly indulge Loki, and it's all about Loki. And of course, we had time with, like, Segan and everyone else, and I do work a lot with Segan. People have asked me, and I'm like, I do, but I'm, like, super protective of her. And I have a tendency that if people say something about her, I don't like to want to hit them in the face. And I don't think she'd approve. She's, like, not this soft little wimpy maiden, but I don't think she'd approve. But it's like, I do have that strong Loki sense in me that if you talk wrong about her, I will redecorate your face for you. And I'll make sure I'm wearing all my biker rings at the time. Why are your jaw shut? So yeah, I'm really protective of her. I'm really protective of a lot of my gods and goddesses, which is why you don't hear about a lot of them often. I'll be working with them, but I'm also, like, very, very protective that if you want my family, you'll go through me first. I sound so antisocial. But yeah, I figured I would make that for you, because it was just, I don't see them talked about much. Verbate is almost treated like a fairy tale, and so is Laufey, or Laufey, I've seen her dismissed as, being frail and insignificant and weak, and, or, like, their stories are, the gnosis someone else got was, like, totally different. And I'm like, I will punch you out. Mama said punch you out. I'll come after you. Don't talk about my family. But no, they're both very sweet. They're both very hospitable. You just need to be able to meet them in that very, rustic setting. Remember, that's what a religion's supposed to be all about, is being rustic. As time's gone on, we've gotten more and more distance from nature. And I think seeing this futuristic city in the VR and seeing where I was happy to have a home, I think it set Farbalti back on his heels a little bit. But I'm like, no, that's just a fantasy. I'm perfectly happy to live in the country with trees and crows and cows and foxes and bears and everything else. So I hope you guys like what you see. And, if you have any suggestions for the next video, I'll be more than happy to hear them, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.